And now it's time for Leadership of the Leaf with Dice and Austin. Let's jump in with a cut and a light.
And welcome to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf Sidebar Edition.
Sidebar!
My name's Austin.
And this is Dice.
And we are going to talk to you guys about the first we smoked a cigar, and then we smoked a premium cigar.
Oh, Austin, you going to talk about your first time?
Not that first time.
Huh.
But Dice, what are you smoking? What are you puffing on over there?
What I have right here is an exclusive for Tobacco Leaf here in Vegas. It's a Xeno Platinum exclusive. It's part of their collector's edition. But I am pairing it with a Vegas classic for myself, which is a sidecar.
Of course, cognac.
Always.
Always. Fair enough.
How about you, sir?
I am smoking. I cannot pronounce this one, so don't get mad at me, people. CAO Consigliere?
Consigliere.
Yeah.
That, sir, is the Soprano.
Which is, I think this is the first time I've had this cigar. And it's very good so far. But I'm pairing that with Jameson Orange, of all things. Why? Because it's what I had at my bar at the time. But I wanted a whiskey, and so I figured let's give this a shot and see how it does.
Now, I'm not sure if the orange will pair well. I guess you'll tell me at the end.
Yeah.
But the Consigliere, or as I like to call them, Sopranos, is one of my CAO favorites.
CAO is a good brand. It's definitely probably my second favorite brand, right underneath Drew Estate.
Okay.
All right, Dice. First time you smoked a cigar, go.
Okay, so I can't remember the year, but it was Halloween, and I was walking with my
Nobody needs
crew.
you to think about the 50s.
I was walking with my crew, and one of them was smoking a cigar. Not quite sure which cigar it was. I want to say it was a Garcia Vega.
Okay.
But I wasn't cigar minded at the time. I just know it wasn't like a Swisher Sweet or Black and Mild. It had some girth to it. And man, when he gave that to me, I did not give it back to him. I finished it. I was excited. I was like, this is fantastic. This is wonderful. And from that point on, I was exploring.
Nice. Okay. All right. I don't even want to ask what you and your crew were walking to.
I'm pretty sure we was up to some mischief. It was Halloween.
Well, yeah. Who isn't up to mischief on Halloween?
Not that he'll ever hear this, but maybe he will. I'm not sure. Shout out to Double Six. Appreciate the cigar, homie.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. All right, so that was your first premium. Well, I guess that was your first cigar.
That was first cigar. It definitely wasn't premium. Garcia Vega is not premium. They're 100. Yeah, they're machine made.
Yeah. So it's I mean, I don't want to say it's a step up from a gas station cigar, but barely, maybe a half step.
Yeah, definitely. I would say a half step. How about you? What was your first, before we get into premiums, what was your first?
Ooh, it was a Swisher Sweet Grape. I was allegedly 17 at the time, and my buddy had just turned 18, and go buy something to smoke. And he asked me what I wanted, and I was like, hey, whatever you're getting. And he's like, well, I'm going to get a Swisher Sweet. And I was like, dope. Sounds good, man. I don't know. Never smoked anything in my life at that point. So he's like, yeah, we'll get a Swisher Sweet. He's like, I'll get a pack of regular Swisher Sweets. You get the Swisher Sweet Grape because I've never had them before. We'll swap these. It'll be good. And I was like, all right, sounds good, man. And so I grew up where I grew up. There was a lot of casinos around. So he was like, I want to go gamble. I guess I looked enough that they didn't really check my ID. I guess I looked, but so we drove out to a casino and ended up sitting there playing video Texas Hold'em all night and smoking Swisher Sweets.
Nice. You said grape?
I had a grape Swisher Sweet.
I can definitely relate. I can definitely relate because after having that cigar, I wanted more. I wanted different. I wanted. There's so many out there. So of
Right.
course, gas station. I didn't even know a
Yeah.
tobacco like a cigar shop. I had no
Yep.
idea what that was.
Yep, agreed.
So, Swisher Sweets. I had the grape, White Owls. I had grape,
Yeah.
Black and Milds. Black and Milds is what I say probably I smoked predominant once I had one.
Yeah.
What's the ones that are slightly the wet ones that comes in that little bag? Backwoods.
Yeah.
So I even smoked backwoods, and backwoods at a time. I like the idea of the fact that people are like, "What the hell is that?" Oh, you don't know about backwoods, homie? Let me show you something. And I pull out this bag full of wet, hideous-looking cigars. Oh my god, tobacco sticking out. People watching the maze as I smoke it, and it was like, I guess they're all right. I was like, fuck yeah, these things are great.
I do remember walking into the casino and I smelled the Black and Mild because they have a very distinct smell.
Yeah, that's because
And
it's pipe tobacco.
yeah, and I was like, what are you smoking? Black and Mild, and it was a older gentleman. He's like, yeah, Black and Mild. I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. He's like, I'm gonna have to give me one of those. He's like, here, I got one left in my box. Why don't you have it? I was like, oh man, I appreciate that. Like, so then once I had that, I got kind of hooked on Black and Milds because they're so, I don't know, I thought they were delicious at the time, which they're not bad in a pinch, I guess. But then I started going into the wood tips and
Nothing like them wood tips, man.
yeah. So and then I know you and smoked several Black and Milds together.
Yeah,
When we worked together.
yeah, because they don't last as long as an actual cigar, but they were good enough to get the whole cigar feel. Even though it was pipe tobacco, it was one of those like, I'm smoking a cigar.
Yeah. So that was definitely my first cigar experience was the Swisher Sweet Grape, and then I started in on Black and Milds because they smelled so good.
Moving to, I think I was at Georgia at the time. I found a pack of Optimos. Now, Optimo, the one I had, they were torpedo shaped. There was, I think, 4 in a pack, torpedo shaped, and they were green. And I was like, now the gas station cigar, in my opinion, I didn't know they're really the border of gas station and premium, because Optimo is a brand, like a name brand, not normally synonymous with gas station.
Right.
And that once I had one of those, I was like, I can actually get a little flavor. I'm like, it's not just inhaling smoke, but I was actually getting some flavor from it. I was like, this is good. I like this. I want more like this one. And so then like Cleopatra, they came in a plastic tube. I just started growing from there. I don't even know if you can buy Optimos now.
So would you consider that your first premium cigar, or would you consider something else?
Actually, I would consider something else. I would say that was damn near close to it. That's what got me on the road to get the premium.
Okay.
I want to say my first premium was actually a Romeo and Julieta. I don't know the brand, size, and whatever it was. I just know it came in a 3-pack in a humidor sealed pack, and it was hanging on the rack at a liquor store.
Okay.
And I didn't know you're supposed to cut the end because all the gas station cigars are ready to go.
Right.
Yeah, the first one I kind of like destroyed. I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was a bust. And being very young at the time in Georgia, I was like, I just wasted how much ever money on this stupid cigars. I should have just got a box of Black and Milds or something.
Right.
Yeah. Second one, I figured out how to smoke it, and it was bliss ever since then.
Well, of course, yeah. There you go. All right, so Romeo and Julieta, nice. Okay, I can get behind that. I had a box. My dad gave me a cigar box. I don't know why he gave me a cigar box. This is a little off topic, but he gave me a cigar box, and I remember the box. It was I want to say it was Arturo. It was either Arturo Fuente or Romeo y Julieta. But he gave me this box as like a little keepsake box. And I was like, Dad, what's this box? But I remember it just had a flip top lid. It was cardboard.
Yeah.
It just had like a little flip top lid. It wasn't like a nice wooden box full of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And he's like, I just thought you thought it would be cool. And I was like, all right, cool. And I thought it was so badass that I had a cigar box in my room and I put a bunch of keepsakes in there and stuff like that. So that's so when I found out cigars, I was like, oh yeah, I know cigars. Yeah, I know this one brand. Fucking didn't even know what the hell I was talking about.
I remember seeing Punch, ad for Punch in like one of the magazines, like Source or something. I don't remember, some magazine. So I went into a store that had like cigars on the side. It said cigars, beer, and wine, and whatever.
Right.
So I went in, and I guarantee you, I know I didn't look 18. And I asked the lady, I was like, "Do you have any Punch cigars?" And she kept looking at me. I was like, cigars like Punch. And then she was like, "We got these cigars." I was like, "Nah, I really want a Punch," because that's my mind. That was like that name brand cigar. At that time, I wanted Punch. Yeah, that's what I want. It's a fucking Punch, lady. And she was like, "Well, can I see some ID?"
No. Leave.
ID? Yeah, I left it in the car. Never went back in the store. Didn't have my ID on me. I just didn't go back. I was over 18, but I just didn't have my ID on me.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Let's go with that. You in your first third yet?
I can talk about it.
Give me your thoughts.
Well, considering this cigar has aged at least a year, because my cello was yellow, it's a very mild on the palate, and there's a slight hint of pepper. I can tell the pepper is faded because of the age, and it's definitely got notes of leather and pine.
Okay. I'm getting leather, cayenne pepper, and an earthy tone. It's very good. Right. Very good. But that's what I'm getting. It was leather, cayenne, and earth.
Yeah, my burn line is razor sharp. It's good.
And yeah, mine's not too bad. The first time I had a premium cigar, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Absolutely none. But I'm pretty sure I smoked it with you because you invited me over to your house. You're like, let's smoke. And I was thinking like Black and Milds, and you're like, no, like premium stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went to the local brick and mortar, and I was like, fuck, I have no idea what the hell I'm even looking for. All I know is I need a premium cigar. So I asked the dude, I was like, hey, I need a premium cigar. And he's like, have you tried Gurkha? I was like, no, I haven't. Is it good? And he's like, man, it's the... I was like, oh, shit. All right. Hell yeah. Let's do that. I was like, he's like, what kind of flavor you like? I'm like, whatever. I was like, I'm kind of new to this. Whatever. He's like, you should try this one. I can't tell you what Gurkha it was. All I can tell you is that it was a Gurkha. And I want to say it was like a Toro. But I remember bringing it over to your house or whatever, and having to borrow your cutter and all of that stuff because I had nothing on my own. And we sat there and smoked, and that thing was a pepper bomb and a half. And I was like, "Oh, this is good stuff." Because I was like, I don't know, you weren't like close at the time, so I was like, I gotta impress this guy. Oh, I like this. This is good. This is really great. And my wife at the time was sitting there. She was just like kind of looking at me, and I like got done. I was like, "Yeah, that was a great cigar. I'm impressed with how good that cigar was. I got to get some more." And then I just started smoking Gurkhas from then on. And,
I remember that.
And I looking back, I'm like, man, I fucked myself so bad by listening to that dude.
Yeah, I remember that. At that point in time, I think when we had our little cigar sessions at work, majority of everyone was buying Gurkhas.
Yeah.
I think just about everyone. And because I saw everyone else was getting Gurkhas, I was like, okay, let me get one too. Everybody like Gurkhas. I remember that.
It was not a good idea. But then I started like, it took me a while because I even like when I moved, I still was smoking like I was like, oh yeah, I smoke Gurkhas, I like Gurkhas, and I was going to this store that had a humidor off to the side, real kind of limited selection, and I was like, yeah, this, and I just pick whatever looked, the band. Oh, this band looks cool, and I was like, and I just remember the brand Gurkha, so I kept smoking Gurkhas, and then finally when I came back, that's when I was like, I think I should try something different. And that's when I first had a Camacho Connecticut, and
Life changing.
And I paired it with a coffee, and I was like, this is what I've been missing out on. Are you serious right now? And I've never went back. I started. That's when I just started expanding my palate, smoking all sorts of different cigars, getting the flavor notes, keeping a cigar journal, and since then my been expanded 100-fold.
Yeah. I remember going into cigar shops and I wouldn't even look at a Toro. I wouldn't look at Robusto. What the hell is this long skinny one? I don't want that shit.
Yeah,
Churchill,
fuck that
all
shit.
Day. Churchill.
Yeah, I got
day.
a Churchill.
Then it was like, you've been outside for like 3 hours. Well, yeah, I'm smoking cigars.
Yeah, I'm a man.
Then I got to thinking, I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired of smoking this cigar right now, but well, I'm halfway through.
I gotta keep going.
Yeah. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me try a smaller size and a Robusto. And the flavors I got out of the Robusto, it takes at least a fourth of the cigar of a Churchill to get the same flavors. I'm like, wow, what the hell?
This is great. Yeah, I did the same thing because that Camacho Connecticut was a Churchill. I was like, and then I started watching all these YouTube videos and learning more about cigars. And I was like, maybe I should try something else. And I remember going back to the brick and mortar, and I found a cigar that was mentioned online, and I want to say it was a CAO Brazil. And I was like, hey, I want the CAO Brazil. And I've heard that one's really good. And the store person was like, oh, yeah, good. And I was like, I've never tried it. Let me try it. So I bought that one, and I was like, man, this is really good. I enjoy the shit out of this. And then I was like, I started figuring out what everyone else was smoking. I started trying different things, the Amazon Basin. I tried a Herrera Esteli, tried an Undercrown, tried more Camachos. And I just started expanding my palate and going, man, I have been missing out. And then I remember I went back to the same brick and mortar that sold me my first Gurkha. I went back and I walked in the humidor. They're asking me, what do I smoke? And I was like, oh, a little bit of everything. I'm kind of trying to expand my palate. He goes, have you tried Gurkha? And I said, get fucked. And he was just like, kind of looked at me. I was like, I used to smoke nothing but Gurkhas, and I'm trying to expand my palate onto all of these other ones. And now I don't really think that much of Gurkha, but I want to try something a little bit lighter, creamier. And I was like, I'm looking for Connecticut. And he recommended, I think it was a Perdomo. He recommended the Perdomo Champagne 10th anniversary. And I was like, I smoked it. I was like, this is perfection. And I've just been trying everything.
So let me ask, have you had a super premium? Have you had any of the super premium lines? Like Opus X,
nope.
Davidoff? Or...
Nope. Steve Saka the Unicorn, nope.
So
my problem is that I just don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, I get that. 100% get that. But there was one point in time I was like, I've tried premium, and the cigar shop that's in Destin, you walk by and the Davidoff is like right there up front in its own case with bright lights. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get one of these. And the wife was like, are you? Because she's looking at the price tag, right?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't. I was like, I just want to try one of these. So I did end up getting like on the cheaper side of a Davidoff cigar. And when you said perfection from the champagne one, the 10th anniversary one, Yeah, the balance of that Davidoff, like through me. It was it. I was like, I'm hooked. Davidoff is 100% my favorite brand. Can I buy it all the time? Fuck no, I can't buy it all the time. They are expensive as shit, especially here.
Yeah.
So that Davidoff is a treat. If I'm smoking a Davidoff, I'm celebrating.
Yeah, I have not had a Davidoff. I'll be 100% honest. I haven't had a Davidoff. Partially because I spend a decent amount of money, and my problem is that when I spend $100 on cigars,
right,
I want to get like 10 plus cigars. I don't want to get 2 cigars for $100.
I was gonna say probably about 2.
So I'm like getting 10, and then I look. It's like, hey, if you buy 2 5-packs, you'll get 7 free. Done. I'm all about it. Let's go.
Yeah,
that's 17 cigars for the price of 10. I'm about that life. So I know that I need to go try Davidoff. I know I need to go down there. My wife's been talking to me about it. She's like, you need to go try this. I was like, yeah. The problem is, I'm afraid I'm going to get hooked, and then it's expensive taste from here on out.
Yeah, well, I would say you get hooked, but there's still so many other cigars out there to explore. It's nice to have a super premium every now and again. By all means, I have one that I'm saving just for great times to come. But Hennessy is my hook, so that's what I'm gonna spend the most money on.
That's
like Redbreast for you.
Yeah, Redbreast is a birthday treat for myself, and even the wife was like, "Happy birthday!" And all begrudgingly, when I put the bottle of Redbreast in the cart, I was like, "I'm getting this.
I'm doing it. You're not gonna stop me."
Yeah, 100%. I was like, "It's my birthday, and I can cry if I want to at the price." So yeah, I totally get that. I just a buddy of mine, he was telling me, he was like, "You need to," because we were smoking cigars. Because I bought a couple of cigars for my buddy because he was getting married, and I bought like 3 cigars, and I was like, "Hey man, let's smoke these together." And he was like, "I don't smoke cigars." I was like, "Yeah, but you're getting married." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't smoke cigars." I'm like, "Okay." So I ended up with I just bought 3 cigars for myself. Ended up, but one of the other groomsmen was like, "Oh, yo, I smoke cigars. Like, let me get one." I was like, "Done, dude." So I handed him. We smoked cigars, and he's like, "You need to try an Opus X." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it." And he was like, "All right, cool." And then we went into a store, and he was like, "Hey man, you sell Opus X?" And they're like, "We have like 5 left." And he's like, "You gonna buy them?" And I was like, "How much are they?" He's like, "They're like, they're like $98." I was like, "Get fucked." No, I'm not. So I ended up settling for like a Monte Cristo that was rolled for a brand in Louisiana. It was a Louisiana company that had their house brand, but it was like a Monte Cristo band on there. And I ended up with that, and I was like, "Man, this shit's just as good." And I was like, "This is good." And he was like, "So like, it's on an Opus X." It's like, you buy the fucking Opus X then, motherfucker.
Right. I want to try a Byron.
Yeah, I'd try one of those.
I think they're like 40.
Yeah, maybe next time we see each other and actually get together or something.
Fuente, Opus X.
Yeah, oh, fuck that. I've looked at them, like I've thought about purchasing like the Steve Saka, the Unicorn.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a blend by Steve Saka. It's $100. It's basically Steve Saka's $100 cigar.
Is Steve Saka going to deliver it? Shit, $100?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I was like, I've thought about it. Like I said, I thought about it. I can't bring myself to buy it because it's just I can't do it.
So if I was walking down the street and I was to find a $100 bill on the ground, I will purchase that cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone says it's a unicorn. Everyone says it's good. I don't even know that much about it because it's just an ultra rare blended by Steve Saka, some of the finest tobacco on the planet. And the owner of this cigar shop rated it a 94.
All right. Well, if I pay $100 for a cigar, if I pay $30 for a cigar, it better be fucking the bee's knees. So $100 cigar, it better blow my motherfucking mind.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I better have like fucking come to Jesus moment where I walking through clouds and shit, and he's like, here's the direction you go for the rest of your life. Like, holy shit, $100 for a cigar? I would have to, I don't know, win a Nobel Prize to be able to be like, yeah, sure, I'll buy $100 cigar. Yeah, no, that's a little too priced for me. I think the most I ever spent was $64 on one cigar. I think the most I've ever spent on a cigar is like 17, 20, somewhere in there. Not counting the elaborate fucking lounges here in Vegas. That doesn't count. Well, yeah, those are price marked up because they're stupid. I bought their price increases are stupid. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that because it's Vegas and it was on the Strip. Like, this is a fucking $15 cigar all day long. Yeah, and they're like, no, it's $25 cigar. Go fuck yourself. I remember the first time I went to a kiosk to get a cigar in Vegas when we first moved here, and it was a Camacho, and the lady said, "Yeah, this is a $30-something for one of these," and I was like, $30-something? Are you serious? Then she looked at me and said, "Well, if you want to get something cheaper, there's a gas station around the corner." I said, "Bitch." I was like, the price tag has nothing to do with it. It's just, that's not a $30 cigar. I'm not new. Fucking bitch. And then I walked away. And then the wife was just like, what the fuck just happened? Because she was trying to charge me $30 for an $8 cigar. Yeah. Trying to rob me without a gun? Not happening. Yeah. No, I totally get that. And that's why I go to these brick and mortar stores, or I go online to, Cigars Daily, Cigars International, Thompson Cigar, so these places that have better prices. Well, yeah, definitely online is going to have better prices than the brick and mortar. But you got to also understand, like, the brick and mortar, you're paying for that guy to talk to you about cigars. If you have questions and stuff like that, they're supposed to be knowledgeable. Right. So the way I look at it is, if I buy something from a brick and mortar, the little bit of markup that I buy difference between that store and, like, let's say an online store, is for me to get it instantaneously versus having to wait like 3 days. Yeah. I just call it a convenience fee, and I swallow it. That's fair enough. All right, well, you sit in your second, third? I'm definitely in my second, third. The mellow is still great. It is still almost to perfection of balance. Is more of a leathery, woodsy kind of flavor profile. It's very light, mild. I'm not mad at it. It's a great, relaxing cigar. Yeah, this one I'm getting is a nice. It's turned a little bit nutty, and it's definitely good. Nutty with like a hint of spice. Oh yeah. Because you got the CAO. It just dawned on me what you were smoking again. I put that with not Hennessy Black. What Hennessy I put it with? Oh, Jesus Christ, Hennessy Prestige. And yeah, the balance of both of those, that cigar is great, man. Yeah, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. Definitely like some leather and some spice. It's really well balanced. It's a great smoke. Yeah, I smoked that one with a punch. Then I've also smoked it Deep V, and I will say Deep V was a better experience than the punch. Yeah, that's what I cut it with, as Deep V. But yeah, that's been our first cigar smoke experience as well as our first premium cigar experiences. And this has been a great sidebar. But until next time, I'm Austin.
And I am Dice.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Sidebar. Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.